I've been a nasty girl.
All right, welcome back to Brewed for Greatness. We're now up to episode 11, which is a nice milestone, the double one for the boys. Kia ora, Kurt, who is in New Zealand at the moment. So
Kia ora.
he's got a nice view. It's not just the dining room table.
Have you seen what is it, the Moana wave?
Yeah, is it throwing out the?
Manu wave?
What's that meant to be? Throwing the hello or something?
I don't know, dude. It's just every traffic controller over here rocks it.
Really
Yeah.
nice.
The girls and Simon have been doing it everywhere.
Have you been throwing out the Kia oras?
Not really, because I've got an Australian accent over here and
True.
stands out like dog's balls.
True. So for those who don't know, why are you in New Zealand at the moment, mate?
We got 70.3 worlds. So here with obviously my wife Phoebe, and then her sister Hannah, partner Simon, and then I've got Bella's heading over too. So all of them are racing. I'm just carrying the bags, which is on females are Saturday next week or this week, Saturday this week, and the males are Sunday.
Solid, mate.
So yeah,
First impressions.
It's a pretty mint spot. Weather was quite average today, as you can probably see. There was a bit of rain around, but we're smack bang on top of the lake.
Nice.
Beautiful temperature change. It's probably been the best. We've left 30 to 35 degrees and 90% humidity, and we've gone to early teens in the morning and maybe mid 20s at the peak.
Nice.
So it's been lovely.
All that heat training is going to come into good effect. Be training in the heat all day and then coming down into the cooler weather. You should be flying. Phoebe will be.
They should be. Yep. They should be pinging.
Also, pretty sure I saw Phoebe do a half marathon the morning of the flight at 3 a.m. or something like that. Something wild.
She had her last little long run.
Nice.
The morning before we got on the plane, so it was maybe like a 3:40 wake up. I think she started running by just after 4. So, she got it in.
Very good.
Well, I did my Pilates in the living room, mate.
That's good. in your jocks again?
So, no, I think I had shorts on this time.
Hell yeah.
No one was watching me, mate. So I thought I better stay clothed.
That's good. No, it's good to hear. That's very brave getting done that half marathon before hopping on the flight, but it's good.
Yeah, see, didn't want her to freshen up too early. You go have a day off. Typically, she likes to have the Monday off, week of the race, so that she can kind of get a bit of load back into the body before she races, so she's not feeling too fresh.
Yep.
You go have the day off on Sunday and another day off on Monday, and I just think you're freshening up a little too much. So,
yep.
And then you come over here and you do your last long run, and you're starting to push it. Then it's a Monday or a Tuesday of the race week. So,
yep.
I said, "Do you reckon you can do that? Get up early and do it?" She's like, "Yep." I said, "All right, let's go." And you'd think at 4:00 in the morning it'd be nice, but it was. I think humidity was 92% or something when she ran. So, but she was fine.
Nice, mate. But I'm the same. Hey, I hate arriving to the race feeling too fresh. And as soon as you start to apply any sort of intensity, you feel like you know how it's like really like you get that dry feeling in your lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hate that.
The way it's you're never used to performing that fresh, right? Because we train and we're always so fatigued. You kind of warm into it.
Yeah.
Like your heart rate's never really high under load, you know, and then you freshen up and then all of a sudden you're racing and your heart rate's 15, 20 beats higher than what it usually is. And you're like, oh my God, I'm suffering.
Yeah.
So
I hate that feeling.
But
Some people like it though.
Yeah, some people, if you can handle feeling like, you're on the absolute rivet, I think performance-wise, you're actually in a better spot to perform well.
Yep.
I just think it knocks you around mentally.
Yep.
You just think you're
boxed.
You cook so early.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, have you been onto the course yet since touching down?
We did part of the bike course, maybe the first 30K of the bike course yesterday, because the roads over here, or the busy roads, aren't great to ride because there's not many shoulders and a lot of trucks.
Yep.
So we rode the first bit. It's probably the only real safe bit, especially with the girls and in TT. So we did that, and dude, it's going to be a tough old day for everybody.
Yeah. So let's hear your first impressions.
I love it. Just dead roads, rolling terrain, windy, exposed. You know exactly what New Zealand's like. So, bit of technical stuff in the first bit too. Like you come straight out of transition, you climb for a bit, and then once you turn off that, there's like a main drag, and there's a few, decent little descents and whatnot. So, but no, I like it. I'm a bit jealous. Not racing.
Some FOMO.
So, yeah, and then the girls rode home after that, and then Simon and I continued down to like the last, as you're coming back off the state highway, you turn onto Broadlands.
Yep.
And it's probably the busiest road. So Simon and I just went and did that, and we rode all the way out and then turned around and came back, and mate, that wind. So I think it was a southerly blowing, and I was on a road bike and he was on the TT. And he goes, "You want to just roll 5-minute turns on the way home?" I'm like, yeah, sweet. So I rolled off. I rolled first, and I've peeled off, and I'm holding 30 more watts than what I was on the front, trying to hold his wheel on the TT. And after like 20 minutes, I said, "Mate, you just keep going. This isn't an endurance ride for me anymore."
That is a stitch up.
So, yeah, but that wind, and it's those cross headwinds, hey? Like, it's never just coming straight on.
Yep.
So
what are you thinking? Are you thinking it's a favourable course for the cyclists for this race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Strong cyclists.
Yep.
Yeah, big time. It just zaps your legs.
Yeah.
That chip seal. Yeah, I think it's just a really honest course.
Yep.
I don't think you'll be able to fudge your way through it.
Yep. And,
pack dynamics will still play a part, but I still think regardless, there's no avoiding.
Yeah. The best guys.
This ride taking it out. Yep, taking it out of your legs too.
Yep. Oh, nice. Well, I reckon we get into a little bit of a start list preview and see what we're working with. So we've got some guys crossing over. So they're coming from a fair few different series. We've got some domestic guys who have been racing domestically in Australia, which is really cool, coming across to race Worlds. We've got some Ironman people dropping back to half Ironman. We've got some of the sprint boys who are racing like the Olympic scene and things like that coming up in distance. And then, of course, we've got like the T100 guys who just finished up their season coming across from that as well. So it's pretty interesting, and I'm pretty keen to see how this race goes on the weekend. Same for the girls. Same thing. We've got girls who are a bit more selective with their season and where they're racing, and being a bit more selective of who they're going to be competing against. We've got girls who are same again coming from Olympics, and then T100 girls as well. So it's a pretty stacked start list for both men and women. And to be honest, mate, what a massive start list for both.
Yeah, huge.
That's huge.
It's good. Like all year, you've been watching predominantly, like probably T100 stuff or whatnot. So there's only 20 20 athletes in each race, or you've watched a bit of Ironman stuff, but people have been, during the season, I think people are quite selective of where they race.
Yep.
You know, so they can better their chances of having the most successful race they can, but it's not often you get a start list like this where you're getting everyone from all.
It's like 62 females, 64 male. Do you think with this pretty stacked amount of people in the race, I know you're saying that the course on the bike is looking pretty grippy, but do you reckon there's going to be more of a bike dynamic with these groups now that there's there's big fields here?
I think quite quickly, the top cyclists will separate themselves.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think quite quickly.
I like to hear that.
But all the guys that can ride a bike and are very strong though, I'm sure they will have that pack dynamic, and I'm sure everyone that's a semi-decent rider, they will be together too, but I think there'll be a distinct separation.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Nice. Before we name who we reckon's going to perform, is there any people in particular that are standing out to you like that, or interesting you, that are doing some interesting stuff before it, or anything that's kind of tickled you a little bit?
I guess a lot of it's just the ITU guys that aren't really proven.
Yeah.
At this, against this caliber of athlete.
Yep.
So like we've seen Hayden just demolish Geelong.
Yep.
Easily, and then he did that. Was it a challenge event, or was it in Thailand or something?
The recent one.
And again, quite easy, but it wasn't against the depth or caliber of these races. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes against this many guys.
For sure.
And against a lot more guys that, there's a really strong swim field here.
Okay.
And then again, Leo Bergier, just seeing those guys step up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cool.
I'm just interested to see how they go.
I'm curious to see what you reckon, because I think I don't know what qualification races he may or may not have done before it, but a Van Riel, for example. So I thought after that T100 he would have ended his season, but he went to the Ironman to do that Ironman last week or the week before. Did he end up coming out and saying why he didn't do like the world champs for 70.3? Because that's pretty similar to the T100 series that he's just won. And I would have thought, like, if he's going to keep pressing on with his season, that you would go to like a world championship final rather than just a random Ironman.
Well, I think he wanted that. Yeah, it might be a travel thing though.
Yeah.
It's a long way to travel, and I think he also wanted to do that Ironman so he could get. I think he fancies his chances at Nice next year.
Yep.
And I think he thinks he can probably slot in a. I don't know if he'd qualified for this yet, not. If he'd done any 70.3s, I can't tell you to be honest, but I think that was his big goal, was just qualifying for Nice.
Yep.
And unfortunately crashed, but.
I'd also like to point out that I think in our first few episodes, we were talking about who was going to win Kona next year. And I said Van Riel, I think, could be up for it. And you laughed at me.
Yeah. I didn't think he'd just go straight to the long distance like he did.
Like, literally just fully skipped 70.3. He's gone straight to Ironman.
So, he's a weapon, hey?
Yeah.
And pretty proven in the heat now too.
Yeah.
So, but I think he likes that Nice bike course.
Yeah.
He's got really good power to weight.
Yep. Yeah, he's a bit more shorter, smaller stature for the climbs.
Yeah, a bit skinnier.
Yep. All right. Well, do you want to start off with the girls first? Who you thinking will get on the podium?
Yep. All right. So I've got a top 5 here.
Go.
And 4th and 5th are in no particular order. But the first 3 are. All right. So we'll start first. Taylor Knibb.
Yep.
And I think she does it quite convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
This, like I said, man, seeing what she does to them on every other bike course, I think she's going to be off the front quite a bit. So then I've got Imogen Simmons second.
Okay.
Again, I think she showed in Dubai that she's quite a strong cyclist, and like she just sat on the back of Julian Ash there.
Yep.
And then got a penalty and just bridged straight back up as well. So I think a course like this will really suit her. She's a big, strong girl as well. So
yep.
I think her and Taylor will be not together, but I think Imogen will separate herself from the others. And then I've got Ash in third. And then my other two are Julie Duron and Kat Matthews.
Sweet.
That'll make up the top five. But I think the podium are, those other three.
Nice, man.
What are you thinking?
My knowledge on this is a little bit less than yours, but for first, like I just think from what I've seen, obviously Taylor Knibb would be silly to look past her. I was thinking though, like with Ash, because Taylor's had a pretty long season, like dabbling between Olympics, Olympic cycling as well, in the TT, and all that kind of in the whole T100 series. So it being a little bit closer to home, I'm hoping Ash can get it done. That would be very cool to see.
Yeah.
And then a little roughie would be Ellie Salthouse, which could be cool, I think.
Yep. Well, I think the travel's going to play a big part in it, being so close to home.
Well, she's been in Australia, so...
Yep. It's only like 3-hour flight, mate. It's like flying within Australia.
Exactly.
So it is really easy travel, and I do like that the Aussies are coming out of a pretty hot summer.
Yep.
Especially those two Brizzy girls, and coming over here, it's going to be very refreshing.
Yeah, you do. You get such a nice boost when you've just been going hot, and then you go into the cooler climate, and you just feel like you're just so much harder to overheat.
Mate, those long rides, like even that day I was with you in the heat, and then I've done 3 hours the last couple of days here, and I just felt like I could punch all day.
You just feel like you don't even need a drink?
Nah.
No.
You barely sweat, you're not tired, you're not getting hot. Yeah.
No, that's good.
So I think that'll be good for the
Aussies.
The Aussies coming over.
I agree, man.
Male.
This is so stacked.
Stacked.
Yeah.
It's really stacked, but I only think there's probably a handful of them that could win it.
Yep.
But then, like, to get on the podium,
the
list is endless, mate.
Yep.
But I've gone first Hayden Wild.
Yep.
And I actually changed this just before we got on. I've gone second Leo Bergier.
Yep.
Third Rico Bogan.
Yep.
And then I've got fourth is Kyle Smith.
Yep.
And fifth is Casper Storms.
Nice.
I hope Kyle's on the I would like to see the Kiwis go 1-2 though.
Could you imagine?
That'd be pretty sick.
Home race.
Yep.
Hit me with some reasoning.
Those I2U guys, I think, might just have the edge in the run.
Yeah, okay.
That is only, my... And then I really liked Rico in Dubai.
Yep.
Like he outran Kyle there in the heat. Then they're both bigger boys, so...
Yep.
That's the only reason I've got Rico above him, but that could have taken a bit out of him. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle wins this thing either. Like, from all accounts, he's just going full send. So I just think he's going to have a hard time beating Hayden, because I think Hayden probably comes out with the front group in the swim. I don't think at this distance they gap him.
Yep.
and I think Hayden's probably just as strong, if not maybe stronger on the bike than Kyle. And then he's run pedigrees. He's run pedigree.
Yeah, nice.
So I actually think Hayden's probably better suited to this distance than ITU.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely the favourite.
Yep.
And I liked the look of Leo. We saw him riding yesterday. Looked pretty dialed.
Did you ask him if he would come on the pod?
Nah, mate. But hey, friendly bloke, gave us a wave.
Bonjour.
I think it was at Simon. Simon looks pretty pro. He's pretty dialed. Got the kit. He looks good.
Yeah, nice.
So
that's good.
He probably thought he was a fellow pro with a numpty sitting on the back wheel of him.
Look at this fan just sitting on.
Yeah. And Leo's run, like, the only reason I changed it is all this ITU stuff. Leo's never far off Hayden and Alex.
No, he's not.
No, so that was my. I think he's. And then I just thought, can Rico and Kyle run with those guys? And I just thought probably not. Maybe just a bit off. So that's why I've gone them 1 and 2.
But
and Casper Storns is just in 70.3. He's pretty damn solid.
Kyle's run at that T100 though, that was red hot. Like that first 10K, that was insanely quick.
Yeah, he's been running really well,
and that was in a complete heat as well. So maybe they drop it back a little bit more of a cooler temp.
And hometown, who knows these roads and
exactly.
Exactly. I'd love to see him on the podium. I'd like to see Hayden 1-2 with Kyle.
Yep.
So, what are you thinking?
Yeah, there's a few takeaways. The one thing I don't like is some of the short course guys coming to long course, and I think it's a completely different ball game when you're going from a 40k bike on a road bike to 90k in TT position. I think it's complete.
Yep.
And I don't know how much TT work they've been doing, and this isn't saying they're not as good of an athlete, but like spending time all year round in TT position and like practicing, literally doing a 2-hour time trial in position. Like, yourself, like if you try and when you get really fit on the road bike and then you hop onto the TT bike and you haven't really done too much specific work, like you feel it does take quite a bit of time. And I reckon some of the T100 guys have a bit of an advantage with that. So I do like that. In saying that though, like Hayden is clearly, I think, superior athlete. So if he's done lots of work in position, I think he wins. But I feel like he would need to do a bit of TT work. But so it'd be hard to say he wouldn't win. So I'm going to go Hayden to win. I reckon Rico Bogan second. Who did I go third? Third, I went. Where's my list? Third, I didn't even write it down. I was just going off the list. So I already know it. And then Bergier third. Third. But that's only if Hayden and the Frenchie have done TT work. If not, then I think Kyle Smith podium.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be it's a pretty good course for just who's the fittest athlete.
Yeah.
So,
like, what do you think? Do you reckon it's a massive disadvantage them coming across from short course? Like from that bike aspect? Like you got to remember, like those guys like pimped out in TT position all year round.
Yeah. I think Hayden, I think he's spent a fair bit of time in TT, and his position looks, compared to when he used to first get on the TT every now and then, his position looks wild now, and he looks pretty slippery. And he's also quite a stronger sort of guy, so I think he can probably adapt to that TT position quite easily to someone that's quite fragile.
Yeah.
How
does
Leo
Rico ride?
I don't know. Hey,
how does Rico ride?
Very good.
Man, he'll
be off the front.
He could even
be off the front with the group. This is what he did at Worlds last year at very similar conditions, weather conditions. Just swam at the front, rode off the frnt, and never saw him.
If I pick Rico, should we put another bag of coffee beans on the line?
I already owe you one.
I know. We'll go double or nothing.
All right.
I reckon.
So you reckon Rico wins?
I reckon just to spice up a little bit, I'll go with my theory. I go Rico wins purely because I reckon he's had more of a build to his season. Do you know what I mean? Like he hasn't.
The thing is, all these guys we've talked about have had huge seasons.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the T100 guys, tired.
Yeah.
But then ITU, it's been an Olympic year.
Yeah.
You know, then they've had all their super try.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think they're always at the end of the season as each other.
Yep. I agree. All right. Well, I'll go Rico to make it interesting. What about Phoebe? Expectations?
Expectations?
Yep.
The only conversation we've had about expectations is that at the end of the race, knowing that she's raced the race and gone as hard as she possibly can and just not let off at all, you know, just taking an easy option at any stage of the race, just knowing she's gone as hard as she could.
Yep.
And given everything she can, and that's it.
Yep.
So you can and to race, you know, it's Worlds at in a country that she's got close family ties to, so you know, she's got a lot of family over here and family friends, so she was real motivated to come over here and just race well. So look, I think if racing wise, I think she can better a 10th she got at Worlds last year.
Yep.
And on her day, I don't see why she has the day. I know she can. Why she couldn't be on a podium?
Let's go.
So, but at the end of the day, you can't. There's a lot of stuff you can't control. So as long as she knows everything that was in her control, she's given it her all. That's all we can ask.
Yep. No, sounds good, mate. Fingers crossed for her.
I like her going into it like that too, because I think looking for a result, you just put too much external pressure on yourself.
Well, I think anything's a bonus. Like it's a home race and she's in unreal form. She's got friends, family there. She's got Curto
just
there.
Keep it simple. Just race to and compete to how she knows she can, and that's all we can do.
Let's go. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But if she doesn't win, she's not coming home.
Pidcock departs.
Oh yeah, gone. You were right, mate. You're all over it.
All over it.
Q365.
What do you think about that? Just.
I don't know. There was a bit of contradiction in why he was leaving and then how he's joined Q365. Like from what I've seen, it was that he wanted to really start focusing on the road and Grand Tours and that, and more than likely he wasn't going to be their GC rider.
Yep.
But then he's gone to Q365, who, bloody hell, mate, they haven't got the team to help him.
Yeah.
At a Grand Tour.
Yeah.
And their flexibility, so he can keep doing his playing in the mud.
Yep. Well, apparently Scott is owned by Pinarello as well. The guy who owns Pinarello owns Scott, I heard.
Yep.
So
I'd love to know what sort of money they gave him.
Well, I was going to say, I think I don't want to harp on it for too long, but I think it's obviously there's been a small falling out, and Q365 have clearly offered him more money, and he's just taken it. Yep. I think it's pretty.
Because I didn't realize, dude, he was Ineos's highest paid rider.
Yeah.
Like he had it pretty good there, man. He got to ride his cyclocross bike, mountain bike.
Yeah.
And the money they're paying him, and he's not even a GC rider.
It's crazy.
Pretty wild.
It's crazy, yeah. He is obviously unreal.
Yeah.
But so that's that done. See if young Joe Pidcock goes with him.
What do you reckon? It's a package deal.
Well, the last I heard it was a package deal, except we'll see. I'm not too sure.
Are you related to Pidcock at all?
No, I'm not related to Pidcock. Why is that?
I was going to say, mate, you could get a package deal as well. Yeah.
If anyone asks,
it'd be interesting to see.
I was going to say, if anyone asks, I'm related to Nick Schultz, so hopefully I can get a package there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
No, I'm not related.
Who are we moving on to now? Tour of Bright, mate.
Yeah, Tour of Bright.
How was that?
It was actually it was a fun weekend. It was good. Yep. I had a pretty good Saturday. I got third on Saturday up Toowoomba Gap, which is this big climb. So it completely doesn't suit me. But I was only 50 seconds off the win, which I'm pretty happy with because the two guys who went first and second are like pure climbers. Luke's obviously world class, so I was only 50 seconds off him, and I'm only like 5 weeks back training. So I'm pretty happy with that. So you can't really fake a climb.
No.
So I was happy going in the right direction. Next day up, what do you want to call it? Where was it? Next day up, Mount Buffalo, which is an hour-long climb. I was stuck. My shifter broke, so I was stuck in the 56.
Yeah.
So I lasted 25 minutes, and then it was all over. But I was pretty like the fitness is coming back, so yeah.
Yeah, nice.
We did a crit on the Friday night. You would have liked it. Hey, it was techie. It was so techie.
Yeah, right.
It was bumps and.
What'd you come in at?
I got fourth, but I stuffed up though because I was second going into the last corner, so I would have thought I was on for a podium, and then Blake kind of jumps me on the inside, and I could have like shut him. I could have just like not let him, but I did.
Shut it down.
I just wasn't hungry enough for it, so I just.
Yep.
And then then I got fourth.
Yeah, nice. Who was that kid that was toweling up Clappy both climbs?
Jack Ward.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
He's a really good mountain biker. So he's taken a massive step forward. He's always been really good, except that weekend he definitely stepped up a lot with his road bike results. So it's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. You're
one for the future.
I bet Clappy wouldn't have been too happy about that. Surely this young kid getting the better of him in his home race.
Who knows, eh?
Who knows?
But
he obviously Clappy's not gifting it to him, mate.
No, I don't think so.
So he's gone there and he's performed really well.
100%. Like the
where's he from?
He's from Victoria.
He is?
Yeah. Dude, like the guys racing are really good. Like this, even though it's just a domestic race, the level is really high.
Oh, it's stacked. Yeah. You look at the start line.
Yeah, 100%. We just need more races here. Before we move sports, just wanted to quickly stick on triathlons for a second. So I don't know if you did do this or not, but I told you to go watch this Rich Roll podcast with Blumenfeld.
Yeah, I saw it. Yep.
Did you listen?
Yep.
So for those who haven't listened, it's actually a great listen. I love listening to Blumenfeld talk about his training and racing. I think it's pretty insightful.
Yep. It's very good. And Rich Roll does it. It's a good podcast.
Yeah,
too.
It is a very good podcast.
Yeah, he's quite knowledgeable in that as well. So, knows what to ask.
Yeah, a bit like us.
Yeah.
But a few takeaways. So there was lots of positives in there. Like he went into depth about a heap of things. He's an unreal athlete. But there's a few points I picked out that I just think it's wild. One of the things is he said that they were lacking specificity with their training for Kona. And I just don't understand how they're having these issues. Like
the specificity?
Yeah, like how I don't understand with especially going on about this Norwegian method and how much money they're pumping into their training and how much they literally have like a coach there all the time. Like for like not a lot of athletes. Like it's pretty condensed and like it's pretty solely focused on like those boys. Yeah. And I'm just like, how can you lack specificity for an Ironman in Kona? Like it's
Yep.
Like, surely there's not that much beating around the bush.
I found that hard to believe that the three of them wouldn't be training very specific for Kona.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just going off what he said.
Yeah. And I find it hard too that the three, like, they're always testing numbers and looking at what they've got to do and getting lactates and whatnot. It doesn't get much more specific than that.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Maybe just there was like key sessions they didn't do, or who knows? Because he didn't go into too much depth of that.
No,
he just said they were lacking specificity. Yeah.
Yep. Also, the other thing that was interesting as well is pretty much. Oh, another thing to take his hats off to is he's obviously one of the like top handful of people in the world for triathlons, but he grittied it out. He got probably 30th or something like that. So you have someone who should be winning, and he toughed it out despite not having a good day, which is just hats off to him for having like mental toughness to do that. Like easily an athlete of that caliber could have pulled the pin after he was vomiting his guts up, and nobody would have blinked an eye.
Yeah. Nah, I think at a world champs, it's important people do that, so it just doesn't take away from the win of the people that did get it, you know?
Yep.
Like if you see a DNF on there, it just doesn't have the same, I guess, aura about it.
Yeah.
It was like Yarn did it at the last world champs as well, finished it off when Sam won. So, I think at a world champs, those guys realise the importance it has. So
yeah, especially when they go over there with their camp of people, you don't want to let them down.
Nah, that's right.
So that's
and a lot of sponsors too, mate.
Yeah, yep, for sure. One last thing on that topic with Blumenfeld is another thing I took away was 5 weeks before the games, he increased his run load by 50% and increased intensity while still up at altitude, and then came down and felt like he was lacking the level. Yeah. Like, that's another thing is, like, before an Olympic Games, like, why are they just testing this random stuff?
Maybe just a bit desperate. They realised he wasn't on the trajectory they needed.
Yeah.
But that's a massive contradiction, hey? Like, it's like you meant to you go to altitude and you really control your intensity.
Yeah. It's usually the other way. Not
it doesn't surprise me that if he has gone up there really working hard intensity wise and he's come back down and doesn't have the level.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because the level you can hit up at altitude just isn't the level you're going to be racing down at sea level.
Yep. I think for them they need the altitude to, like, you make the blood gains and things like that are clearly necessary to race at that level. But then I think, right, if he's trying to get faster, to get the sprint distance down pat, not sprint distance, Olympic distance. And I just think it's so bizarre that why would you not increase the intensity at sea level so your muscles can actually do that? Yep. Like there's no way there's no way you could tear your muscles up and do the speed work necessary at altitude to be able to run that fast.
Yep. That's to me, but it's popular. Like the ITU guys all go altitude, but to me it kind of just, to me it's the intensity that majority of their training is just the intensity, and to compete at the level they need to compete at, it's all top end.
Yep.
So to me, maybe like a couple times a year, go up, get a good base.
Yeah.
Altitude camp in, and then come back and get all your intensity done down at sea level.
Yep.
But
I just think it's different than being
I think it's
like
risky
Kenyan.
coming down a few weeks just before an Olympics too. Like, I think people think they've got the altitude thing down packed, but it's like, from what you see, people respond to it differently all the time.
Yep.
So it's a risky one.
Yeah. I just think if you're not living there and have lived there, like the Kenyan runners who live at altitude and stuff like that, it's completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is, it's interesting. Which is just goes back to...
there's been like the last couple of days stuff out. Pro Tri News releasing that they've changed coaches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But then the Norwegians came out and said that's fake news.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I
think
I
as
don't
well.
know if that was
I think as well. There's so much. They market themselves very well because obviously they're also trying to sell a product and push product and things like that with the training tools and things like that they use. So
yeah,
they also market themselves very, very well.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got something a little bit left field.
Yeah.
I saw this before we jumped on. Have you seen Gout Gout?
Oh, dude. Phoebe and Hannah actually said to mention that. Wild.
Yeah, dude. This guy is
Man
off
can
chops.
run. Yeah.
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 I said like Usain Bolt has come out talking about him as well.
Yeah, right.
He said he reminds me of a young Usain Bolt.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
dude, an insane stat is it was where are we? So second fastest under 18 performance in history ever,
Yep.
and he's only 16. He broke the Australian 2,000 meter record for elite men.
200.
For 200.
Yeah.
Fastest 16-year-old in history. And when Usain Bolt was Gout's age, Usain Bolt did a 20.13 and Gout did a 20.04. So same age, he's faster than Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
He and he's got very similar characteristics to Usain. Like their takeoff, because they're taller, lankier guys, their takeoff speed's not great, and then they get winding up, dude. And it's like everyone's standing still, mate.
I know, it's wild, hey.
Yeah, he puts more space into him in the last 30 meters than the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the gaps coming in the last
first 10 meters
quarter
was
of the
nearly
race.
last in the 100.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
What do you reckon he could run a 400? Well,
I'm sure he could. He's only 16, mate.
I would love to see him do a 400.
Yeah, but he's very obviously fast twitch as well.
Yeah.
But he's only 16, mate. Like,
yeah. It's crazy, yeah.
I'm sure he could do anything at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
He's pretty high energy as well. Have you seen him like doing all the celebrations and everything like that?
Well, it's good. He needs to make himself marketable.
Yep.
Usain was probably the most recognizable athlete in the world at one stage.
Yeah.
And he was a sprinter. You know, how often does that happen?
It's crazy.
So I think he's just taking a leaf out of his book and doing all the same sort of stuff, carrying on.
That's cool.
So,
did you see?
Mate, if I could run that fast too, I'd carry on 24/7.
That's good. Did you see who he's sponsored by?
No.
He's got an Adidas deal.
Yeah, okay.
So that's pretty big for a 16-year-old. But
massive.
But I'm curious. I think he's gone crazy with the followers on Instagram though. I think he's like,
right.
What's Gout sitting at? He's sitting at Gout. Here he is. Yeah, he's nearly at 100,000.
Yeah, as a 16-year-old.
I looked yesterday and I was like 60,000. Like he's growing insanely fast.
Yeah, nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, good on him.
Other than that, mate.
And do you know his background? Like, has he always lived in Australia, or did they move over here?
I'd be talking smack if I tried to answer that properly.
Yeah, because his English and that's really, really good. So he's obviously been here for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Which is cool.
So we're going to do a race recap.
Yep.
Next Monday.
Yep.
So day after the males race.
Hopefully Hayden wins and then he comes on the podcast.
Yep.
Would be nice.
Yeah. He left us hanging.
Yeah.
He said yes and then flaked. But I get it, dude. Like, it's a world champs and at home. He's probably, from what I've seen, none of them are doing that much media.
Yeah.
So maybe after he'll relax a bit and talk to the boys.
Let's go.
Because like he seems like a pretty genuine sort of guy. So
he is.
And I know, like Kyle has been saying no to all media and that as well.
Yep.
I think he's done one with the triathlon hour and he'll do some Ironman stuff. Yep. So maybe after we might get lucky.
Hopefully.
I'll pester them all, mate.
Yeah, we'll send a message.
We might be able to get We might be able to get an hamburger with a few beers in his belly on.
But see that I feel like that's we want to savor that because
Yeah.
that's big time. When we get hamburger on, like that'd be good.
Yeah.
I don't want to
So-
don't want to jump the gun on that one too soon.
No, yeah. But
No, it's good.
yeah, we'll do another one on Monday.
Yep, perfect, mate. For the meantime,
I reckon
train
we
hard.
just train hard. I'm getting a bit of biking in over here. Man, you know what it's like. These roads get you strong, hey?
Let's go.
Like, no wonder all these you
But-
come over here and
What are you talking about, mate?
It's-
Brisbane gets you strong. Brisbane's the best for training.
mate, we don't have this like we do if you head out to Sanford and that. But these roads are different. And the wind. We do not get this wind.
I hate training in the wind. I don't
Yeah,
reckon.
bro, but it gets you strong.
You reckon?
Yeah. Yep.
I reckon it.
Alright.
What about when you go into a block headwind doing 20 k's an hour? I know Kurto's not smiling.
Oh, I wasn't smiling this morning, mate. I literally left and it just pissed down on me for three hours.
Oh, jeez.
So, and what was it, 13 degrees or something?
Yeah.
Pissing down rain. I had no winter kit, but perfect, mate. It was,
You were fine?
I love this stuff. I'd race in this all,
Really?
I love it. Yeah.
Fuck,
I'm a big boy, mate. I overheat easily.
Maybe I need to move back to Brisbane and we can do a switch, mate. You can try Melbourne for a
I've
little
got a
bit.
lot of insulation on me. I reckon we just wish all the Aussies good luck.
Yeah, do you want to run through who are the
'cause we've got a few
Aussies?
Brizzy.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
All right, I got the.
So
Do you want to say it or do you want me to do it? I got it on the.
I don't mind.
All right, we got.
What do you want?
Shout out Nick Free,
Yeah,
Calvin.
Brizzy boy.
Yep, Calvin Amos. Do you know Calvin?
Yep.
Kurt
I don't know him
McDonald.
personally, but yep, another Brizzy boy.
Yep.
Kurt.
Who else we got? We got Caleb Noble, Brisbane.
Yep. Sunny Coast.
Nick Thompson. Mitch
He's not racing.
Oh, he's in a racing. Oh,
No, he pulled out.
was he in hospital?
No, his mate was.
Oh shit. Mitch Kibbe.
Yep.
And Big Josh Amberger.
Another
Let's go.
Brizzy boy.
Let's go. Moving on to the females.
Good.
Oop. Press on or?
Yeah.
Oh,
keep going.
sorry, mate.
Yeah.
We got who we Grace Theck.
Yep.
Do you know Grace?
Race. Yep.
We got Ellie Salthouse,
Ellie's
Ash Gentle.
2 Brizzy girls.
Yep, let's go. Hopefully both of them on the podium.
Good luck to all the Aussies and a very, very good luck to all the Brizzy
Fingers crossed.
Brizzy crew.
How do you reckon the Brizzy boys are going to go?
I think it'll be interesting to see how they go. I reckon Nick raced really well just recently.
Yep.
Because he had a not great start of the year with an injury, and he had a pretty good race at what was just on the other day, 70.3 Melbourne.
Yep.
So he got third there, which was really good. And then Kurt McDonald has raced pretty solid his last couple of races. I know he wasn't very satisfied with them. He thinks there's a lot more in him than those performances. And I know he's pretty keen. He had to pull out of Busso for some personal stuff. So he's coming in here pretty motivated and that. So it'd be great to see him go well.
He is due for one.
Yeah, and because he just recently changed coaching and that, and he said he's seen some big improvements in certain areas, and he really just wants to showcase that. Just hasn't 100% put it together yet, but
right.
I saw him last week, and he was pretty keen, looking fit. So,
Brizzy,
I think and he's done well over here in Taupō as well.
Yeah,
so previously, I think he got second to Kyle or third to Kyle.
Yep.
So he knows what it's.
Should we do a little watch along? Should we do a little segment where we?
What do you mean?
Like, because obviously, oh no, you're gonna be at the race, bro. Don't worry.
I'll get some footage.
All right, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Sweet as. Brizzy Cup, who do you reckon
I'll
wins?
try and get as much footage as I can. There's better chance of me getting footage at the men because I'll be watching my wife.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be screaming like
at
a little
her.
girl.
Just the whip.
You can't do that. You can't promote that.
No, I've never whipped her.
No.
But nah, yeah.
Brizzy Cup, who do you reckon wins? Nick Free or Kurt McDonald?
Well, Nick just got the better of him, but I think this course will suit Kurt more with a really strong bike.
Yep.
So I'll probably say Kurt.
Yep.
But mate, you're forgetting about Joshy too.
Sorry.
Dude, I wouldn't sleep on Mr. Burger Man.
If I had money, I'd
Only
put him to lead
because-
out of the water.
He'll be in the front group out of the water.
Yep.
Um,
The bike will suit him.
so he's going to be with that front dynamic.
Are we sleeping on Josh?
And I think the run course isn't flat either.
Yep. Are we sleeping on
So
him?
I think there'll be a couple 100 meters of elevation gain over the run course. So he's a bit of a mountain goat.
Yep. Well, like for Josh to get a top 5, top 3, what do you reckon he's got to be running off the bike? Is he running? Does he run well enough at the moment to put himself in there?
Oh, look, I think Josh would probably tell you even this year, probably not a top 5, but I don't see why there's not a
Top 10.
On a good day, he's top 10.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I think there's no reason he's top 10, top 15, 100%.
Yep. Well, there's no doubt his
because
swim ride is
he
insane.
probably hasn't run. Nah, he probably hasn't run to his ability this year. Like you look at some of the runs he's done in training and that, and he can run.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's gelled 100% on race day yet.
Yep.
And he's a strong cyclist.
Yeah.
Like
Bloody oath.
he is smaller though, and it could get quite exposed and windy. So that's the only little worry I have on the road.
Yep.
On the ride, I think the big boys will just, especially if that wind's up, it'll just suit them a bit more.
Yep.
But
Rico.
I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him have a good race, because then I reckon he'd be pretty thirsty after it too.
And you'll be there for it.
So, yeah. But I rode with him last week. Did 4.5 hours in torrential rain with him, and he's looking pretty fit and
Are you friends with
ready
Josh?
to go. Yeah, mate.
Oh, Jay.
Oh. So, it'll be. He could be the top dog in this Brizzy crew for sure.
That would be good to see. Hell
Yep.
yeah. Nice. I was going to say, he did some TTs a few years back, like actual road TTs. And he was doing well against the cyclists.
Oh yeah. He's he is quite a strong cyclist. He puts me to the sword, that's for sure. So
and that's tough to do.
Yeah. But I think this course might suit, it's a pretty hard man's course, and he's a hard man.
Yep.
So
All right.
We'll see. Oh. Yeah. All right, but good luck to all the Aussies.
Yeah, very keen to see this.
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
See you guys next Monday, Tuesday for a wrap up, and if there's any more news in the cycling world,
Yep.
Kurt will sign us off.
Yeah, and just a good luck to the crew we got over here too.
Yep.
Phoebe,
Yep.
Hannah,
Good luck, Phoebe, Hannah,
Bella, and big Simone K as well.
Let's go.
Hopefully they all have good days.
I'm sure they will.